stood out, and there's a lot of heroes on this road trip so far, specifically in this series against the Blue Jays. You can go to Cal, who's been phenomenal. Dylan Moore, AL Player of the Week. Randy Arozarena is as clutch as it gets. Rowdy Tellez showed up. The bullpen. The bullpen was asked to cut. You had 2 short starts, 4 2/3 from Logan, 5 innings from Luis. They both threw 102 pitches in each of their starts. And they had 1 game go to 12 innings. Bullpen was asked to cover 12 1/3 innings. They gave up 1 earned run. 1 earned run and 12 1/3 combined. You as a bullpen guy, I would imagine, really appreciate seeing that.
Absolutely. Riding high out in the pen right there. That's exactly what momentum is starts on, is performances like that, and picking up the slack, going that many innings, that many scoreless innings, just goes so far, not only individually, but as a pen, as a unit down there. You're really picking up the slack and keeping your team in the ball game. And that's what you saw game after game, the bullpen coming in and getting the job done.
You know, what an unusual athlete a bullpen pitcher is. I mean, you guys are typically seen as kind of the craziest part of the team and everything, but you might sometimes just be asked to go in and throw 6 pitches. You know, I mean, it's just interesting, the makeup. Is that what makes bullpen guys crazy, other than you, Charlie?
Maybe, yeah. It's funny because you get deemed, oh, this guy's a starter, or this guy's a reliever, and sometimes it has to do with personality over actual stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe he's just better off handling the intense situations that you get thrown into out of the bullpen better than a starter that is a little bit more maybe particular and wants to have more routine based. And as a reliever, you just get thrown into the fire in situations that are completely unpredictable and completely out of your control. And it takes a special individual to handle that mentally and realize, okay, how do I blank out the noise? How do I, let's say, clear the mechanism from, for the love of the game, Kevin Costner style, right?
Yeah.
It all goes quiet.
Yeah, and just lock in and bring your highest level of focus. So, it does take a special individual. I think you see guys that maybe gravitate towards just living in the moment, right? I think that's what the bullpen guys kind of do. It's just okay, hey, you just throw whatever at me, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because it's most guys go into Major League Baseball and think, I'm going to be a starter, right? I mean, nobody goes in saying, or do they?
Well, I'd say most bullpen guys, we always say, oh, we're all failed starters. You know what I mean? We all had a crack at it at some point in our pitching life. And then at some point they said, okay, you know what? You're better off just throwing 2 pitches out of the bullpen. So that's how it worked for me. I was a starter my whole life, and then had my rookie year, had 10, 11 starts that didn't go so hot. Thought I was going to get another crack at it, but I ended up finding a sweet home in the bullpen. And like you said, there are days sometimes I go out and throw 4 or 5 pitches, face one guy, and you're out,
Yeah.
So, but those are the days that you're okay, I can go tomorrow. I can maybe go 3 days in a row because you can give your team some more length in that situation. So the spectrum of pitching out of the bullpen is large. You can go in and be asked to, hey, we got to cover 7 innings today, or hey, we need you for 1 guy. So, whatever you need to do mentally to get ready for that is different for everyone, but that's the challenge of baseball, and that's the challenge of pitching out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
What's your take on Munoz? He has yet to give up a run. He's been lights out, and anytime I say that, people are like, oh, he walked this guy. Okay, he's given up a hit here and there. He's walked here and there.
Okay,
he's a bottom line guy, though. He hasn't blown a save. He hasn't given up a run yet. Did you ever close? Did you ever close a game?
Yes, I have 1 career save, Bob. Thank you for bringing that up.
How different is that mentality of?
Well, I've blown about 10 of them. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize you could blow a save in the 6th or 7th inning, which is kind of a weird thing. But yeah it is. I remember playing the Guardians, formerly the Indians, and coming in extra innings. I think we had a 1 or 2 run lead, and I remember just being like, okay, this was so important to me. I felt like the stakes, the weight of the appearance was even that much, I don't know, heavier or whatever. And I ended up giving a 3-run jack, lose the game to Young Gomes. Yeah, I mean, it was just like, oh, man. And I thought I threw a pretty good pitch. Go look at the video. It's pretty much down the middle, so it wasn't that good.
Threw a cookie over the middle of the plate.
It felt good.
Yeah, it felt good. And
what he does is
it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think it seems like, through all of his experiences through closing and the ups, the downs. He seemingly has like unlocked a new level mentally to consistently go out and perform. I think that's what you're seeing is that he isn't missing a beat, and when he gives up a hit or walks a guy, he's right back in there to like fire away. So he's really impressed me in terms of what he's experienced and how he's being able to translate that into this year and what is looking like another all-star performance season.
One of the most entertaining moments, and I had to take a video of it and send it to Bob and Mike, was Rowdy Tellez knocking out a base runner with his butt. And I love that guy. I mean, you look at like his defense. I'm not saying he's like incredibly fast or anything. He's got probably decent range just because he's a big dude, but he's done a really good job at first base, and comes up with a grand slam. And what do you make of that guy?
Oh, that was amazing. I mean, to be able to just be in the way and just brick wall that guy at first base, like, oh no. And if you look, Browdy was not even phased, like unfazed. Like, oh, did something hit was that a fly on my back? Oh man, are you okay?
Got some giant bugs in here.
Yeah, guys on the ground, just like, looking at stars for a second. He's been honestly, out the gate was a little tough to watch, and I think had some questions about, okay, can he turn it around? He's getting a decent amount of playing time. Have we seen the Rowdy that we want to see? And that's, I think, and that's the beauty of the first month. It's kind of you kind of don't know what you're going to get out of everyone quite yet, and that's why you play 162. And I think Rowdy's coming to his own, and to unleash that grand slam that he hit against his former team and just unloaded it. I mean, just a tattoo of a homer. So that's what I saw. I'm like, oh, this could be the turnaround of Rowdy's season. Is okay, now I'm into the swing of things. I'm feeling good. I'm getting opportunities. And he knows he's probably on a short leash at the end of the day, right? 1-year deal, not coming in with anything mega guaranteed. So I've seen a lot of good things, and I continue to see better at bats, at bat after at bat.
Yeah, 3 games in a row with a home run. So I'm sure he'd like to stay in Toronto for like a 9-game series if he could. But
for sure, him and Cal.
Yeah, I asked this to Ryan. We had Ryan Rowland-Smith on earlier, and I'm curious to get your take on it. Is with Logan Gilbert, who's your opening day starter. He goes 7, which, by the way, is his most efficient game of the season. Threw the fewest number of pitches, and it's the longest he's gone, 7 innings. Every start after that the best has been 5 2/3 in terms of length. Interestingly enough, he hasn't given up damage. It's like 5 innings, 1 run, 5 innings, 2 runs. So even his last one, it was 4 2/3 innings, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts, 102 pitches. The efficiency isn't there. He's effective. He's limiting the damage. But what are you seeing from him? And Ryan was pointing to his slider, saying it's not doing what it was doing last year. It's getting fouled off. It's and they're just continuing to make contact, fouling it. Pitch counts going through the roof early. Is that what you're seeing, or what's your takeaway from his season so far?
What I'm seeing is still an outstanding pitcher and a guy that is very close to eliminating that inefficiency that we're seeing right now. What happens is when you strike out a lot of guys, you throw more pitches, right? And that's what you're seeing. He's one of the top strikeout guys in the league right now, and you have to throw pitches to strike guys out. So I think he would prefer to have more efficient outs, quicker outs. We all would, to go deeper in the games, to give your bullpen a break. But what you're seeing is his ability to get guys out is just costing him more pitches. And ultimately, when it's this early in the season, it's not necessarily wise to go out and throw 110, 115 pitches just to get to 5-6 innings, right? So the inefficiency is a little, tough to watch, because you just would expect him to go 6-7 innings based on what he's doing out there. But to protect him in the long run is going to be a good thing. And when you strike out a lot of guys, you just throw more pitches. So if he could maybe not have those 2-2 counts, 3-2 counts as frequent, and really the 0-2, 1-2 counts, and put guys away, then you're going to be able to see Logan go deep into games.
Who's a guy that comes out of the bullpen right now that makes you feel like warm and fuzzy inside? I mean, like Trent Thornton, we were talking about Gabe Spire. I mean, you look at his numbers, pretty.
I'm pointing to Gabe Spire all day right now. I think it really.
That's your lefty bias coming out.
For sure. Duh. I mean, come on, Bob, let's go. If you only knew what it was like to be left-handed, there's not too many of us.
You guys pitch forever at baseball.
I know.
Typically,
I know. I wish I was still doing it. But seeing Gabe last year to this year, it really feels like two different pitchers. And I think when you saw him last year, you saw him struggle, and then he had the minor shoulder injury and was out for a minute. You didn't really see this new level of velocity that you're used to, right? I think that's a big game changer. And I think it's easy to look at a pitcher and say, hey, maybe you've regressed, you've gotten hurt. That you may not ever get back to where you were before, right? And you have to make the new adjustment of what your body can do and what you're able to do. And he put in the work this offseason and just busted his tail off. And now what you're seeing is these immense results, not only from a performance standpoint, but from an actual stuff standpoint. I mean, the 95, the 96, the 97s, those are just from the left side and from his little package. He can really just fire it up there. And it's so fun to watch him pitch because he's arguably, the next best pitcher compared to Munoz out of the bullpen. And he's done a tremendous job of having quick innings, striking guys out, attacking guys, not walking guys, not giving up any hits. I mean, really a bright spot. Another guy that's set up for a big year. And I'm excited to see as the season unfolds what he has continued, what he's capable of. It's going to be great.
The guy that surprised me out of the bullpen has been Vargas, or as Dan calls him, Vargy.
Well, yeah, why is there a Y or an EE on the end of everybody's name in baseball?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Yeah, the manager always like Vargy and
Bogey.
They say Charlie. Okay, that makes sense then.
Did they call you
Furby? That's what they call
called
me.
you Furby, did they?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always the E.
Or Bushy, or
Bushy.
something. Yeah.
But he's a guy they've had. I mean, he's gone 13 innings. He's thrown more innings than anybody in the bullpen.
You're talking about Vargy?
Yeah, Carlos Vargas. Vargy, as he's better known. 13.1, 2.7 ERA. 2.70. I mean, he's been. I mean, he's a guy you always heard about. He's got great stuff. Doesn't have his command. What have you seen out of him so far this year? Because it looks like, for the most part, he's got his command.
He's got great stuff too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's he's got some lights out stuff, and seeing him pitch in bigger situations. I think not too long ago he came out in the 9th inning when we thought Munoz was going to come in. And he came in and got the job done. That was a bright spot, huge confidence booster for him. But really a guy that knew coming into camp, coming into the season, that it was do or die. I had to perform or else I wasn't going to have a job. And I think that's what you've seen. He's absolutely, lived up to the hype that we know he could be and how good his arm is. He's just a matter of putting it all together. And that's what you've seen. I think he's finally put it together and is getting these opportunities to shine out of the bullpen.